Okay, good evening students. I hope screen is visible to all of you and my voice is clear. Please confirm. Okay, so in today's series, we are going to see some of the important questions for your drug inspector examination. And we are going to cover two topics under your pharmaceutics, which is your semi-solids and the suppository. So let's get started with the very first question. So the first question is, I hope the screen is clear to all of you. Which one of the following statement is not correct for an ideal suppository base? Okay, which of the following is not correct for the ideal suppository base? Option A is solid fat index curve is broad. Acid value is below 0.2. Saponification value ranges from 200 to 245. Iodic value is less than 7. Basically, these three are correct. What do you mean by solid fat index? So that is nothing but a graph which is plotted between percentage of solid versus the temperature. This graph will tell you that at what temperature your suppository will melt. And if it is having a broader range, it will show something like that. But we do not want a broad graph, rather than we want a sharp and a narrow graph which will melt the suppository at a sharp melting point, maybe at 37 degrees Celsius, which is the body temperature. And that is the reason we will have a sharp solid fat index. Remember, index is nothing but a graph which is plotted between the percentage of solid and the temperature. Okay, so option A is the incorrect statement and that is the right answer. This was asked in 2019, okay, UPSC DI 2019. Very good evening, all of you. Chalo. Next question is, okay, so here the calculation is given. We will keep writing whatever is given in that question. 10 suppositories N is equal to 10 containing 300 mg of acetaminophen, that is your drug, in one suppository, that is 300 mg. If we calculate in terms of gram, because if you see the options are given in terms of gram, so that becomes your 0.3 gram, and for 10 suppositories 0.3 into 10, which is nothing but 3 grams. Okay, so this is what you have calculated. Next is, it is to be prepared using a coca butter. Coca butter is nothing but the base. Average weight of the blank suppository is 2 gram. Blank means without any drug, only the coca butter. Average weight of the medicated suppository is 1.8 grams, right? If that is the one suppository weight, but we have how many? Into 10. So that becomes your 18 gram, right? Now they are asking what will be the actual weight of coca butter. Very easy. 18 gram is the total weight. You know that 3 gram is the drug. So 18 minus 3, that is your 15 gram. Sometimes additional information is given just for the confusion. So your answer is 15 gram is the right answer. Okay, so only this part is required. I hope the calculation part is clear to all of you. Very easy. You calculate the total amount of the drug present in the 10 suppositories. Medicated suppository 1 is 1.8 gram, 10 is 18 gram. You subtract the amount of total drug from the total suppository, that is 18 minus 3. You will get the weight of the actual weight of the coca butter, which is nothing but the suppository. Okay, suppository base. So very good, option B, 15 gram is the right answer. I hope you have understood the calculation part. The same is given in the explanation. Clear all of you? Chalo. Next question is related to which suppository formulation has the rapid release rate as it relate to the drug and the base characteristic. So we always say that the drug should have proper log P value, it should be hydrophilic, your base should be oily. Why? Because it will show rapid release. For example, if both are oily or something, that it will have the slow release. Oil soluble drug, oil base, that will have a slow release. It will not have rapid release, right? Next is water soluble drug. It will help to melt and it will release easily, and oil soluble oil base is there. Next is oil soluble drug, water miscible base, water insoluble drug, oily base. What is the answer? Chalo, very good option. Option B is the right answer, which will release because this will show a slow release rate. This was asked in Maharashtra DI examination. Okay, please be careful. All the questions they have been asked in your previous examinations. Okay, you know, drug inspector free batch. The test series is there. Daily practice test is there, and it is to boost your preparation, to take your preparation to another level. If you have not downloaded, please download the GDC classes app from the Play Store, and you have to select on the batches section at the bottom side and click on the plus icon, and your batch code is GDCDI. Please make sure that you will be enrolled into this free test. Okay, I hope now it's clear to all of you. So the next question is regarding some specifications regarding your suppository base. Okay, number of milligram of KOH required to neutralize the free acid and saponify the esters contained in 1 gram of fat, it is known as. Option A is iodine value, option B is saponification value, option C is water number, option D is acid number. Remember, when we talk about iodine, the number of grams of iodine is there, but in the question it is not mentioned. When we talk about water number, that can be incorporated into 100 gram of fat, then we call it as water number, but here it is not mentioned about the grams of water, so this is not the answer. Now, if they tell you that how much mg of KOH is required to neutralize free acid, if the question is still that, then it is the acid value. But one more statement is there that it is saponification of the esters. If they use the word saponify the esters, then that is your option B is the right answer, saponification. Okay, very good, option B is the right answer. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding the characteristics of an ideal suppository. What should be the characteristics of ideal suppository? The majority of components melt at rectal temperature of 37 degrees Celsius. Higher melting ranges are employed for eutectic mixtures, oil, balsam, and tropical climate. Our statement is the base shrinks sufficiently on cooling to release itself without mold lubrication. The water number is low, meaning a small percentage of water is incorporated. What should be the correct answer? Read the statements carefully. See, the rectal temperature is not 37, it is about the 36 degrees Celsius. So 36 is the right one. So option B, that means the statement B is not the correct. Next is higher melting ranges are employed for eutectic mixtures. Yes, because at lower temperature they will melt. So Q is the correct statement. The base shrinks sufficiently on cooling to release itself without more lubricant. Yes, that is there. Q and R statements are correct. Water number should not be low. The water number should be high so that it can incorporate a higher percentage of water. So that is the characteristics of ideal suppository. So your option B is the right answer. Okay. Very good. Option B is the right answer. The next question is onset time for systemic route of administration of suppositories, ointments and cream through rectal suppository is how much? Again, this was asked in Maharashtra DI recently only. What should be the onset time? Onset time means the moment it starts showing the action. You please see that suppository, ointment and creams, it takes little time to release the drug and to go into the systemic circulation, and accordingly you try to answer it. 5 to 10 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes, 30 to 60 or 60 to 90 minutes. What is the correct answer? Very good. Option B, that is 15 to 30 minutes. That is the onset time of the suppositories. So next question is type A or pharmacology gelatin used in the suppository base has isoelectric point of. Okay, isoelectric point is nothing but where pH, it is nothing but pH where it will have the same charge. Iso means same and electric means charge. Okay, so remember that type A gelatin, its isoelectric point lies in the basic region, and for type B gelatin, its isoelectric point lies in the acidic region. Option A is 2 to 4, option B is 5 to 6, option C is 7 to 9, option D is 10 to 12. Okay, slightly alkaline, so option C 7 to 9 is the right answer. Mostly if they ask 9 is correct, and for type B gelatin it is 4.7. Okay. So very good, option C is the right answer. Next is which one of the following is used as suppository base. They are not asking which of the following is very popularly used. In general, out of this, which you can use? Cocoa butter, polyethylene glycol, 𝙂𝙀 or all of these. Remember the alternative names as well. Okay, cocoa butter is nothing but 𝘂𝙀𝙎 oil. Polyethylene glycols are, the trade name is macrohol or carbovax, and 𝙂𝙀 is nothing but your hard fat. So all of them can be used as the suppository base. Option D is the right answer. Very good. Very good. Option D is the right answer. This was asked in MPDI. Okay. Next is which one of the following statements are correct regarding suppository base? Are correct. Okay. This was asked in Gujarat DI 2021. It maintains the shape, it helps in insertion into the body cavity. 𝘂𝙀𝙎 oil is an example of a base. Just now I told 𝘂𝙀𝙎 oil is nothing but your cocoa butter, right? So definitely all of these are the correct options or the correct statements regarding the suppository base. Very good. Option D is the right answer. Next question is, which of the following is an example of hydrophilic base? Hydrogenated oil, emulsified cocoa butter, glycerol gelatin, none of these. Now hydrophilic base, see this is a hydrogenated oil. This will definitely not come under your hydrophilic base. Option A is not there. Option B is emulsified cocoa butter. Again, it comes under your oily category. This is not your hydrophilic base. Glycerol gelatin. If you see gelatin and glycerin, they both are water soluble, and that is the reason it comes under your hydrophilic base, right? It comes under your hydrophilic base. Chalo, very good. Option C is the right answer. Very good. Chalo, any doubts till here? Yes, C is the right answer. Remember, it is used for the antimicrobial purpose and mainly used in the vaginal suppositories. Now, next question is about the displacement value. Now, one statement is given as displacement value of zinc oxide with reference to 𝘂𝙀𝙎 oil is 5. What does it mean? Your zinc oxide is referred to as drug and your 𝘂𝙬𝙏 oil is nothing but the base. 1 gram of zinc oxide replace 5 gram of 𝘂𝙬𝙏 oil, or 5 gram of zinc oxide replace 1 gram of 𝘂𝙬𝙏 oil. 1 ml of zinc oxide replace 5 ml of 𝘂𝙬𝙏 oil, or 5 ml of zinc oxide replace 1 ml of 𝘂𝙬𝙏 oil. What should be the correct answer for this one? So displacement value is nothing but how much grams of drug, how much gram of the drug displace 1 gram of base. How much gram of the drug displace, here I write drug, displace 1 gram of the base. In this case, if displacement value is 5, that means 5 gram of the given drug will displace 1 gram of the base. That is nothing but the displacement value. In this case, option B is the right answer, which is definitely it is not in ml. Option C and D is not there. Okay. So the displacement value is nothing but how much grams of the drug will displace 1 gram of the base. Okay? So option B is the right answer. Remember, most of the students get confused between this. Remember 1 gram of the base. Okay? So option B is the right answer. Next question is, which of the following is an antioxidant used to prevent rancidity in the suppository base? Rancidity is nothing but it acts as your antioxidant. Which of the following is antioxidant? Cetyl alcohol, silver salt, alpha tocopherol, that is vitamin E, or penicillin. If we talk about the antioxidant, your alpha tocopherol, so option C is the right answer. Remember, that is your oil soluble antioxidant, that is alpha tocopherol. Cetyl alcohol, it is a fatty alcohol, that is not your antioxidant. Silver salt, that is not antioxidant, that is for the antimicrobial purpose to prevent the microbial growth. And penicillin, it is an antibiotic, not your antioxidant. Okay, so these are the different excipients and their roles. So next question is, which polymer is used to coat the compressed effervescent laxative rectal suppository for core protection and ease of insertion? Basically, they are asking which polymer you will use for the coating. So whenever we are giving coating, there are 2-3 purposes are there. First is that it should give protection from external environment and for smooth insertion, right? So definitely we will give a coating that can give hydrophilic nature, so that when it is inserted into the rectal or the fluid which is present, it will get dissolved, right? So out of this, which one is there? Hydrophilic, that is your polyethylene glycol. Option A is the right answer. So see, this effervescent base tablet requires small amount of water for rapid disintegration. This compressed suppositories are dipped and it is sprayed with a thin coating of polyethylene glycol to add an external film for protection. Okay? So next is borax and beeswax combination is used in Jharkhand DI. This is question is 2013. Borax and beeswax combination is used in, option A is hydrophilic, petrolatum USP, lanolin absorption base, cold cream, none of these. Borax and beeswax, this combination is basically used in your cold cream. Remember, cold cream is nothing but the emulsion only. And when we talk about the cold cream, specifically it is W by O emulsion. Okay, sometimes they ask you the type of emulsion also. Sure. Clear? Any doubts till here? Okay, next question is, Quality control test of suppositories include, quality control tests are nothing but the evaluation parameters that will make sure that whatever suppository has been formed or formulated, that will have the required characteristics. Melting range test, yes, because we assume that whatever suppository has been formulated, it should melt at body temperature. So melting range test is important. Breaking test to see that how strong the suppository is. Dissolution test to see that whether the suppository is able to release the required amount of the drug or not. So all of these, option D is the right answer. Very good. Very good. Option D is the right answer. Next question is regarding the melting of the suppository base, especially your cocoa butter. Cocoa butter exists in 4 polymorphic form, and each polymorphic form is having different melting points. Okay. Chalo. Melted cocoa butter 35 to 36 degrees Celsius is used as suppository base on snap cooling will produce. Snap cooling means rapid cooling. So what happens is, when you melt this cocoa butter at 35 to 36 degrees Celsius, okay, this is melting at body temperature. Now when you snap cool, means when you rapidly cool the cocoa butter, it gets converted into alpha form. Because of this rapid cooling, it gets converted to alpha form, which is unstable, like a crystals will form, okay, and around 18 degrees Celsius. Slowly it starts changing into the beta form, because beta form is the stable form. Beta form is the stable form, and you know that the material or the substance tend to come to the stable state only, whether it is your molecule, whether it is any substance. So when you rapidly cool down the suppository base, initially it will form alpha form of the suppository, which is nothing but the crystalline form, and then it starts getting converted into its beta form. Okay? So that is the reason. And not only D, remember, slowly changes to beta is also there. Okay? So very good, option is the right answer. Next question is, what is the melting point of gamma form of cocoa butter? As I told you that there are different forms. Along with that, there are different melting points. Okay? So gamma, remember alpha, beta, gamma. Likewise, gamma, it is having very less, like 18 degrees Celsius. Okay, and that is the reason we don't use, because it will melt at 18 degrees Celsius. What does it mean? That means at room temperature it is in the liquid form. If at room temperature it is in the liquid, you cannot use it in the suppository base, because that the storage problem will be there, right? So we don't use gamma form. Beta dash you can see 34 to 35, so we use that form. Okay? Ideal suppository base is polyethylene glycol, 𝘂𝐵𝑟𝑜𝑚 oil, twin or span. First of all, PG is there. Twin and span is not your ideal suppository base. They are surfactant. Twin is hydrophilic. Span is lipophilic surfactant. Both of them, you take any grade, not any grade, only span 60 is solid. But twin 20, twin 40, 60, they are liquid in nature. They are not meant for the suppository. Your 𝘂𝐵𝑟𝑜𝑚 oil is nothing but cocoa butter, which has most of the characteristics of ideal suppository, although it also has certain kind of disadvantages. But ideal suppository is your 𝘂𝐵𝑟𝑜𝑚 oil, that is your cocoa butter. Okay? Because it melts at body temperature, it has other things also. Clear all of you? Chalo, next question. Okay. Again the displacement value question came. Okay? So whatever first is given, you have to write it down. Okay? What is given? Before that, let me ask you, do you have doubts in what we have seen? Chalo, now we will solve. First, write down whatever things have been given. Okay? How much 𝘂𝐵𝑟𝑜𝑚 oil is required to prepare 10 suppositories? Again the same question, but here now displacement value they have given. So what is given? You first write it down, right? How many number of suppositories have been given? N is equal to 10. What is the drug? 0.3 grams. 300 mg, but I am writing in grams. You can write it in mg, you can write it in terms of grams also, right? 300 mg of bismuth subgalate using 1 gram of the suppository mole. How much gram? 1 gram of the suppository mole. How much is the displacement value? Displacement value is the 6. And they are asking how much is the cocoa butter required. That means they are asking how much total cocoa butter is required, right? So we have written how much is the total drug. You first write with me only because I need some space also to write it down. Okay? So total drug is how much? 0.3 gram, which is present in one suppository, into 10, which is nothing but the 3 grams. Okay? This is our first step of the calculation. Let me know once it is completed. Okay? So you have total 3 gram of the drug. You have total 3 grams of the drug. Okay? Now you will calculate how much base is displaced. How will you calculate how much base is displaced? Whatever the total amount of the drug is there, divided by your displacement value. That will give you idea about how much amount of the base has been displaced. So what is the total amount of the drug? We got 3 gram. Do you remember the first step? So 3 gram divided by what is the displacement value? 6. So that will become 0.5. So how much amount of the base has been displaced? 0.5 gram, right? Now, how much base is required? This you calculate. This is our second step. Let me know once this is completed. So this has been displaced. This has been displaced. Now our mole is how much? 1 gram. And total is 10 gram, right? So ideally how much was required? 10 gram. But some drug have that drug amount of drug, whatever 3 gram is there, that has displaced your amount of base. So you subtract that, you will get 10 minus 0.5 gram, which is nothing but 9.5 gram. So if you see, option A is the right answer. Okay, clear all of you? Yes. 0.5, but 0.5 gram has been displaced. You have to calculate, that is for 1 that we have calculated. This is for 1, right? But ideally your 1 mole, see they have given here using 1 gram suppository mole. So that means 1 suppository for 1 gram, right? But entire 1 gram, in that some amount of the drug is there. That drug has displaced some amount of suppository, right? So total how much amount of the base is there? 10 gram. In that 10 gram, your drug has displaced certain amount of the base. So how much has been displaced? 0.5 gram has been displaced, right? Because what is your displacement value? 6, right? So basically how much amount of the drug was there? That means 3 gram of the drug displaced 0.5 gram of the base, right? So 6 gram will displace 1 gram of the base. That is the reason 6 is your displacement value. So you subtract how much amount of the base has been displaced. Displaced means removed or replaced. So 10 minus 0.5, 9.5. Okay? This is displaced, but now we don't have to calculate how much is displaced. We have to calculate how much is required. See, how much is required. If they ask you how much amount of the cocoa butter has been displaced, you go for 0.5. Now that is displaced. How much is required? 10 minus 0.5, 9.5. Understood? Very good. Option is the right answer. That is the reason, read carefully. Okay? Whether they are asking how much is displaced or how much is required. Okay? Option is the right answer. Very good. This is the entire step. See, See, step 1, we have calculated how much total drug is required, how much base has been displaced. Like virtually also you can imagine. See, 6 means what? It is half. So 3 divided by 6. 3 is the weight of the drug, 6 is the displacement value. Next is calculate how much amount of the base is required. 10 minus 0.5. Okay? So very good. Option A, 9.5 is the right answer. Okay, match the following properties of cocoa butter. Melting point, iodine value, acid value, solubility is given on that side. Here it is given 34 to 38, 30 to 35 degrees Celsius, not higher than 4, freely soluble in the chloroform. See, melting points, obviously it will be in degree Celsius. So first is Q. Iodine value, I always say in the class also, remember iodine value is near to your melting point. So that is your 34 to 38. So that is your P. Acid value should not be more than 4. Okay, acid value should not be more than 4. And this is a QPRS. QPRS. Okay, option A is the right answer. Very good. So the first answer is correct. Option A is the right answer. So next question is, Sarong SPI semi-automatic equipment is used for filling and packaging line for topical pharmaceutical aerosol? No, we don't use for aerosol, or it is not the semi-automatic equipment for aerosols. Filling of hard gelatin capsule? No. For that we have rotophil and everything is there. Production of suppository, inserting rubber closure in vials. So very good. Option C, production of suppository. This is the equipment for that. Next is, which one of the following is used for preparing the clear gels? Carbopol, starch, cyclodextrin, spray dried lactose. That means once it forms the gel, it is having higher viscosity, it forms the clear transparent gel. Which of the following will form? Starch won't form cyclodextrin, spray dried lactose. Your carbopol forms the clear gel after preparation. Option A is the right answer. Very good. Next is dimethyl sulfoxide act as penetration enhancer for topical formulation by increasing the solubility, denaturing proteins, increasing transepidermal loss, altering solvent nature of membrane. Altering solvent nature, that is by pyrrolidons. What is your answer? Very good. Option B. It will disturb the protein structures because skin has proteins, and it will make sure that whatever the proteins are present, not entirely, it will just create a path so that your drug can go inside. Okay. Next is, which of the following ointment base is an absorption base? Okay, 4 types of ointment bases are there. Out of this, which of the following is an absorption base? Yellow ointment USP, hydrophilic petrolatum USP, hydrophilic ointment USP, or polyethylene glycol ointment natural formula NF. Absorption base is your hydrophilic petrolatum USP. Option B is the right answer. Very good. So examples are your anhydrous lanolin, which is nothing but wool fat, and everything is there. Okay, again match. See, match the following is very important. You have to see them correctly. Okay. Given below are the types of ointment base. Match them with the correct ointment. Absorption base, fixed oil, emulsifying base, water soluble base. Here benzoic acid, polyethylene glycol, sodium lauryl sulfate, wool fat, cottonseed oil. Take some time and match it correctly. Let me know what answers you are getting. Chalo, shall we solve? Absorption bases. Just now we have seen the example of absorption bases, beeswax, wool fat, right? So, where is that? Benzoic acid is not there, polyethylene glycol, wool fat is there. Okay? So, S is the right answer for first. Where is there? Either your B or C will be there, but we will see. Okay? Next is your fixed oil. In this, which one is fixed oil? Cottonseed oil. Only one oil is there, so T is there. Next is your emulsifying base, benzoic acid, polyethylene glycol, sodium lauryl sulfate, wool fat, cottonseed. Emulsifying base is SLS because that is having higher HLB. Remember, water soluble base is your polyethylene glycol. See, polyethylene glycols are your macrogols. PG 400, 600, higher molecular weight are there. They are water soluble. Okay, STRQ. Option C. I think everyone got option C is the right answer. Very good. My voice is not coming. I hope now it is clear. So S, T, R and Q is the right answer. Okay. So where is that? Option C. Very good is the right answer. Chalo, next is hydrous full fat. Uttarakhand DI. Okay, 2024. See, all the recent questions are there. Please do not neglect this part. Very important. Hydrous wool fat is a mixture of wool fat and purified water in the ratio of 50-50, 10-40, 70-30 or 10-20. Hydrous wool fat is a mixture of wool fat and the purified water. Hydrous because of water, right? Remember it is 70-30. Direct question from the Lachman only you can see. So hydrous wool fat, 70% is wool fat, 30% is the water. Okay, it is given in the books also. The common name of hydrous wool fat. Wherever you will see the common name, as I told you, cocoa butter is 𝘂𝙃 oil. Likewise, wherever you will see the common name, it is important. Specifically, your suppository base. Okay? Chalo, next question. Answer for this one first. Vaseline, lanolin, hard wax or paraffin wax? Very good option B. Lanolin is nothing but your hydrous wool fat. Okay. Bihar Drug Inspector. The next question is Bihar Drug Inspector. Absorption ointment bases are so called. Why we call them as absorption bases? For what reason? They are easily absorbed into the skin. They absorb large quantity of water without loss of consistency. Both A and B, none of these. You have given answer also for this question, option B. Very good. Option B is the right answer. It is not that it is absorbing from the skin because they absorb large amount of water. Option B is the right answer. Very good. Next is polyethylene glycol ointment base is an example of which type of ointment? If you have studied two questions before only we have seen PG is what? It is a water soluble base. Polyethylene glycol are water soluble. Remember option D is the right answer. Whenever it comes polyethylene glycol, as I told you, they are popularly known as carbovax. But along with carbovax, remember they are also known as macrogols. Okay, next is which of the following antioxidant is not suitable for the use in the ointment? BHT, sodium metabisulfate, propyl gallate, BHA. See, the reason is that one of these antioxidant, I will give you the hint, one of these antioxidant is water soluble. And since ointment bases we use mostly oil soluble antioxidant, we cannot use one of this because of its hydrophilicity. So now I have given you the hint, you let me know what are your answers. Very good. Sodium metabisulfite. Remember, BHT is your butylated hydroxytoluene, propyl gallate, gallic acid. Then BHA is nothing but butylated hydroxyanisole. They are oil soluble antioxidant and you can use it in the ointment. But sodium metabisulfite is in the water soluble. You cannot use in the ointment base. Okay. Option B is the right answer. You can use it in the solutions, eye drops, ear drops, that kind of thing. Where your entire dosage form is hydrophilic in nature, there you can use the sodium metabisulfite. Okay? Chalo. Next is semi-solid preparations for external applications that differ from similar products in containing high proportion of finely divided or finely powdered medicaments. That means you have various semi-solid dosage form. In that, one of the dosage form, I told you, each semi-solid dosage form has their own characteristic features that makes them differ from each other. Otherwise, why don't you call all as a cream? No, creams are different, gels are different, right? So what is the distinguishing point for one of the semi-solid dosage form which contains high proportion of finely divided material? And that is up to 50% also. Very good. Paste is the right answer. Option B, paste is something which contains higher amount of insoluble solid. Okay, option B is the right answer. See, recently in the Odisha DI 2023, they have asked the question. Next is, which base is likely to be most occlusive on the skin, right? It forms a protective layer, that is occlusive. Hydrocarbon base, absorption base, emulsion, water soluble. You just imagine, what if you apply, you will get the occlusive form. Chalo, very good, option is the right answer. Hydrocarbon bases, they form a protective layer, unlike others which will get evaporated. Option A is the right answer. Chalo. Next is, which of the following polyols used as humectant in the creams? Humectant means what? It will retain the moisture in the creams and it prevents the drying out of the cream, right? If you keep outside, it will get dry out, right? Inside, what is there to prevent? Humectants are present. And polyols. Polyols means they will have multiple OH group in their formula. What is the answer? Very good. Sorbitol is there, propylene glycol is there, glycerine is there. Even polyethylene glycol is also there. If it is there in the option, all of this right answer. Very good. So to retain the moisture and prevent drying out. Even in the toothpaste and all, wherever you see, they add the humectant, right? Humectant is also added if it is having, if you use syrup, it is having this cap locking phenomena. So to prevent that also we are adding polyols. Okay, remember in the syrup. In the context of creams, which of the following pair is correct? Oil in water, oily cream, water in oil, aqueous cream. This I want to know from your side. Oil in water, oily cream, water in oil, aqueous cream. So entirely they have given opposite, right? See, if it is what oil in water, where water is present as your external phase, that means it is present in higher quantity. It will be your aqueous cream, not your oily. And water in oil means oil is present in higher quantity. That is the external phase. That means it will be oily cream. So neither one nor second. Option C is the right answer. Very good. This was asked in the Telangana DI 2023 question. Crib test is used to analyze the viscoelastic properties of which type of dosage form? Emulsion, lotion, ointment or suspension? Lotion, suspension, emulsion, we don't do crib test for that, right? We have some other test, quality control test for this dosage form. Very good. Option C, ointment is the right answer. Gujarat DI. See, all the questions are recent and so many questions you can see from this dosage form. Next is in preparation of ointment by fusion method. Fusion is nothing but melting method. Addition of ingredient is done simultaneously, randomly, in increasing order of their melting point, decreasing order of their melting point. So whenever you are using this method, first we take higher melting point, then lower, right? So what is that order? Very good, option. Decreasing is the right answer. D is the right answer. So next question is decreasing order of their melting point. The plastic base is a popular ointment base because It is having excellent aesthetic feel. Aesthetic feel is fine, but we don't see it as the ideal and the most important property. It is a good emollient to skin. It has a low thermal coefficient relating to better temperature stability, and it has a high quality product having least manufacturing problem. So basically it is stable to temperature changes and all because of the low thermal coefficient, and that is the reason we use it. Next is, in which one of the following cases ointment should be sterile? Where do you think that ointment should be sterile? If it is intended for ophthalmic use, not only ointment, any dosage form for the ophthalmic use should be sterile. Okay, not necessarily pyrogen free, because pyrogen will not cross from the eyes. It won't go into the systemic circulation, right? But for ophthalmic, it should be sterile. That is mandatory. If it is intended for use on large wounds, definitely if like burning or something is there, if any burns are there, if any large wound is there, definitely, because there are chances of microbial growth, your ointment should be sterile. If it is intended for use in severely injured skin, that is same only. Option D is the right answer. Very good. Next is, the main source of liquid paraffin is Andhra Pradesh DI 2018. The main source of your liquid paraffin is animal, mineral, synthetic, semi-synthetic. So it is a mineral source. Option B is the right answer. In the bracket also, in the reference books you will see that is your mineral oil, which is your liquid paraffin. Okay. Next question is, a lubricating cream should possess the following properties except, read the question carefully, Odisha DI 2012. It should spread easily. Yes, it should spread easily, lubricating cream. It should not have good skin absorption. There is no cream which should not have good absorption, right? Option B is the correct answer. It should not be sticky in nature, definitely. It should not have any kind of stickiness. It should be smooth in nature with less oiliness, of course. So option B is the right answer, but it is the incorrect statement. Okay. Very good. Option B is the right answer. Vanishing cream is an ointment that may be classified as, remember, it is vanishing cream comes under your emulsion. Creams are your emulsion, okay? And this is used as a base, a water soluble, oleaginous base, absorption or emulsion base. If you know, creams are nothing but, whether it is cold cream, whether it is your vanishing cream, creams are your emulsion bases, right? So option D is the right answer. Very good. Option D, very good, is the right answer. Which one of the following is not a penetration enhancer? UPSC DI 2015. Not penetration enhancer. Sodium taurocholate, 𝙂𝙎, sodium chloride or caprylic acid. All are there. Sodium chloride is a salt. Option C, it is not your penetration enhancer. But sodium chloride we use 0.9% NaCl, that is for the tonicity adjustment and not as a penetration enhancer, right? Very good. Chalo. Next is, anhydrous hydrophilic petrolatum USP is made up of. See the options carefully. Cholesterol, stearyl alcohol, white wax and white petrolatum. Option B is stearyl alcohol, white wax and white petrolatum. Option C is cholesterol, white wax and white petrolatum. Option D is cholesterol, stearyl alcohol and white wax. Direct question only. Option D, that is your option A, sorry, because additional is there, that is your white petrolatum also. This is anyways there, cholesterol, stearyl alcohol, white one. But additional white petrolatum is also there. Option A is the right answer. Next is, identify incorrect. Read the question. Incorrect statement. Okay. SLS increases trans epidermal water loss. Yes. Sodium lauryl sulfate, they will increases the epidermal water loss. This is a correct match. Pyrrolidons alter solvent nature of membrane, yes, and that is the reason they act as your penetration enhancers. Adapalene liquid fluidization, yes. Pyrrolidons increases drug solubility and thermodynamic activity, no, that is done by sulfoxide. So pyrrolidon alter the solvent nature. D is the incorrect match. Okay, D is the incorrect match. Next is vanishing cream is an example of. As I told you, they are examples of your emulsions only. But vanishing cream and there are two are there. Cold cream is also emulsion only. But one is W by O and another one is O by W. Remember, cold cream is your W by O emulsion. Here O comes in the second position. Here also O comes in the second position. So you can remember just to avoid confusion between these two. Remaining is your W by O and O by W. They are not your micro emulsion. They are not your multiple emulsions. They are your simple emulsion. If you get confused between O by W, W by O, remember this is your cold cream. O by W is the right answer. Very good. Option A is the right answer because W by O is cold cream. While preparing the following, so this is one formula is given: salicylic acid, sulfur precipitate, lanolin, white petrol atom. Pharmacist should penetrometer and leviate the salicylic acid. Mix the powder using geometric dilution in a mortar. No. Place on an ointment tile and leviate the ingredient using geometric dilution. So basically, levigation is nothing but particle size reduction. But how it differs from trituration is that when you use liquid in the process of size reduction, it is known as levigation. Okay? Option C is the right answer. Next question is, in the preparation of vanishing cream, which type of base are generally used? Which type of base is used? Very good. Option B, water removable bases. Generally, we use water removable bases for the vanishing cream. Because it is O by W. W is the external phase, right? Water is present in a higher quantity, and that is the reason we use water removable bases. Whitfield ointment is prepared by which of the following? So depending upon the type of ointment, we use different methods that is suitable. Fusion method, trituration, chemical reaction, all of them. So when it comes to Whitfield ointment, which method we are using? We are not using any kind of reaction or fusion. We use trituration method. Option B is the right answer. Chalo, next is, okay. Consider the following statement regarding oleaginous base. Option P statement is they absorb high amount of water. Q is they form a water permeable layer on the skin. R is they are greasy and hard to remove. Petrol atom is a simple mixture of only straight chain hydrocarbon. Which option represents incorrect statement? Incorrect statement. It is oleaginous, they won't absorb high amount of water. Next is what? They form a water permeable layer on the skin. It is oleaginous. How they will form water permeable layer? They are greasy and hard to remove. Yes, it is oleaginous means it is oil-like. So petrol atom is a simple mixture of only straight chain. No, it is a mixture of everything. So PQS, all the three statements are incorrect. Remember only R statement, which is greasy, which is hard to remove, because oleaginous means oil-like. Okay? So option B is the right answer. And the last question is, taking up certain amount of liquid by a gel. Now there are certain important points regarding gel. So like a definition, okay. Taking a certain amount of liquid by a gel without measurable increase in the volume is called as imbibition, swelling, zero gel or syneresis. If they say there is increase in the volume, then it is a swelling. If there is absorption but without change in the volume, that is nothing but your imbibition. Option A is the right answer. Zero gel means there is no any kind of liquid which is present, so that is your zero gel. Swelling, I already told you. And syneresis means whatever liquid is present inside the gel, that is little it is coming out. Okay? When it is completely removed out, it is known as zero gel. And because no liquid is remaining, zero gels, they are also known as solid gels. Okay? That was all about the 50 very important question from your semi-solids and the suppositories that have been asked previously in the examination. I hope you all have understood this, all the questions. If you have doubts, you please let me know. And I hope you have understood the question. Please go through it again and focus more on these topics as well. Okay. So thank you so much and all the very best for your preparation. See you all in the another series of pharmaceutics. Till then, thank you so much.